Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday Night Chat with Nick. You notice the change in the setup? I finally was able to get the desk out. Right now, it's a portable setup. The new desk is not here yet. So I just have like a makeshift setup so that I can work. But as you notice, I'm doing a little switch around of the room so that it's gonna be better setup. But a lot of work so far. The best news is I think I am evening Odin and JLS as well as PB2D and Yickety Yackety. Hello to the four of you. Early arrival. The good news is that I have finished the bagging and boarding project. Hello, Dead Clone. I end up uh, I end up using 800 new bags and board. Okay, so and the truth is, I skip a lot of the scanning that I was doing in the beginning because that took way too long. Oh my god. Hello, headless sportman. That was just way too long to scan the book, grade the book, bag the book, all that stuff. It would take me forever. But the good news is I got about well, I started the grading and scanning last year. So, oh my God, Parker Rizzo and comic and stuff is here too. Did I use fullbacks and board and Mylar? Well, I have a combination of fullbacks and halfback and MyLight 2. I think most of my books are in MyLight 2. I have some in MyLight Plus. But I think the majority of the book is in MyLight 2 because I find that Mylar is just too thick. And then when you fold over the flap, I didn't like that they are so stiff. So I prefer MyLight 2. MyLight Plus is okay. It's a little bit thin. Some of the cheaper books that I have is using MyLight Plus. And for the stuff that I end up put about 2,000 books in the shelf. Hello, Batcave Comics, and Robert Finofrock, as well as Stephen Wilkinson. Welcome. Good evening for you guys. I decided to put 2,000 books I bought 3 of those black cabinet and modified them, all 3, and I put 2,000 books in the 3 of them. So it's in. So everything is in. Okay. I need to do a video maybe this weekend to show what I did and how they fit in there. They fit just snug and tight. There is no extra room really. And let's see what else. But not all 2,000 books are like high value stuff. There's a lot of stuff in there that sentimental for me to keep, probably forever, because it's not like they're gonna be worth a lot of money 5 years or 10 years from now, like the 4 run, the Bob Simonson 4 run. They're not gonna worth any more money than they are today. So it's not as if like I need to put them in MyLight 2. So they're in MyLight Plus. That's the kind of thing that's in MyLight Plus and halfback, because they're not gonna age all that much. It's a reminder, I get a lot of questions and comment almost on a weekly basis from people talking about or commenting on ideal storage and all that stuff. And my general feelings about these things are, I think a lot of collectors tend to be overly focused on Mylar or Mylite or backing board, all that stuff. You have to understand those things are more structural than environmental, okay, as far as protection of the books. Because ultimately, a book does not need full backing boards or Mylar or Mylite to stay new, stand fresh, okay? Hello, Brian Spaceboy, because if anything that the Mile High pedigree taught all of us is that a book can stay white, fresh, new, stand fresh in a cool, dark place, okay? So I can't help but keep stressing to people that if you are keeping your books in hot, humid place, garage or attic or whatever it is, that is way more concerning to hear than if you use poly or not, okay? Don't, I always advise people that, the environmental control is extremely important compared to Mylar or backing boards, okay? Those things are nice, but ultimately, if you chuck your book, even if it's in a Mylar on full backing board in the attic, when it's like 95 degrees and hot and humid, trust there was some kind of, I get some weird message on my screen. Okay, hopefully that's stopped that. For a while, for about 15, 20 seconds, my screen was frozen. So I wasn't sure if I was frozen on other people's end. Yes, sunlight is not, sunlight is not very healthy for books either. That's how books get faded. I remember when in the 80s when I go to my comic shop, my LCS has a big glass storefront with tons of books on the floor, on the window, on the counter, and all those books were faded. So prolonged display of book in sunlight, direct sunlight, infrared light will fade the book. Yes, JLS. Hello, Lord Tedman. Yes. Okay, so I guess it's not just me. Yeah, I was like, oh no, I don't like to reboot. Aloha, seeking Nimit. It's easy for me to say seeking Nimit than seeking VGVF Nimit. So the room renovation is going good. I should get a new desk. I used to have a big desk, that took up way too much room in this office. It was a typical office desk, L shape. I don't want that, so I got rid of it. Pain in the ass to get it out of here, but I got it out. I bought something much smaller, much more compact. So now I have room to put maybe a lazy boy. That's what Anthony want. Anthony want me to buy 2 lazy boy and put in here so that he can chill out with daddy. I had a couch in here that not very comfortable, so the couch also went. We found someone that took the couch, so they took the couch, threw out the desk. So now this room is really empty. So we'll see. The only thing that I'm struggling with as far as figuring out what to do is my treasuries and my slabs. I don't have a lot of slabs, maybe 100 or so slabs. And I don't really want to buy those CGC boxes that you can buy. I don't want to do that because, you know, sooner or later I will sell all of those slabs sooner or later. And then what you do with those CGC box, right? So I might, as dumb as that is, I might reconsider bringing back one of those shelves that I had before, the one that's like a square box, because those held my treasuries really well. Nothing else contained my treasury very well, but those did. Those did. I already used them for other area of the house once I moved them out the room. Seeking VG said that anything over 1,000 should be in a box. I definitely don't keep anything around $1,000 around the house. Yes, Stephen Wilkinson is surprisingly fast. Surprisingly fast. How fast something can fade in the sun. But it's not a surprise. It should be a surprise because if you take a magazine or a newspaper, because that's what old comic books are, right? Not today, not in the modern books, but if you're looking at the books from those, you know, 60s, 70s, 80s, they are newsprint, just like newspaper, right? Take a USA Today and toss it out in the backyard in the sun and see how quick the USA Today get faded. Okay, so if you can see that within 2 weeks, displaying comic books, and not a smart idea as far as direct sunlight. Robert Finner Fox said, "Can you show a cool book for my nephew? He's watching." Ooh, on request. On request. Everything is in the cabinet. The question is, what does your nephew like? You know, there's a lot that I can show. I'm not sure what would be considered cool. Well, the easiest thing I have is a box of slab. Ooh, Lord Tepman said he just got a nice 9.4 CG colon cover. Hello, Cougar. Speaking of CGC, I am going to drop off my submission next Wednesday. It could be different. You know, I have yet to call CGC to make the appointment to drop off. I will call them tomorrow. And if they have opening on Friday that will fit my time and schedule, then I will do the drive Friday. Does anybody want another video of me driving to CGC? Here you go. Whoever was requesting a cool book. How about this book? 9.4, Frankenstein, X-Men. Off-white to white page. It's one of those books that I need to consign to most likely Comic Link. Yes, JLS, it is definitely a blessing to be able to just drive 20 minutes. Yeah, I'll do that, Jose. I will do that, my man. Here's two more that is both are 9.4, old label. X-Men 24 and 25. These I had forever. Okay, these I bought long ago. Too long. But I no longer need them. It's one of those books that are heading to Comic Link one of these days. Between now and October, I will have a big box to send to Comic Link. Most likely 20 to 30 slabs. There's just a lot of stuff that this is one reason why I don't want to buy a CGC box, because I really don't want to keep a lot of, I slap books to sell. I have continued to slim down my slab collections. So I don't want to buy a CGC cardboard box, because that's just incentive for me to keep the slabs around. CNS Cougar asking you if you press the books. Yes, I don't really need them. Now, let's see what else can I pull out to show you. Let me show you some more eye candies, okay? Gotta get back to work. Bye, Seeking Near Mid. Oh. Dr. Blanchilla want to see the Wrightson Swamp Thing. Speaking of Swamp Thing, perhaps one of the best things for me to go through this cleaning, organizing process was I was able to find my Swamp Thing issue 9 with Bernie Wrightson signature. I had the books for forever, and then I didn't know where I kept it. And then when he passed away, I'm just like, man, where did I put that book? Because I don't have anything else with Bernie Wrightson signature. So let me show you that. There you go. So it's good to it feels great. I must admit, it feels awesome to have 2,000 books finally after decades. I have never organized my book this way, in alphabetical order, neatly sequenced, everything. I have never ever organized the entire collection this way. So it's nice to have 2,000 keepers. All right, Robert Finofra. It's so So nice to have 2,000 books organized. Now, if I had to go to look for any books, it's there. Up until last week, it's always a pain. I have roughly 3,000 books in this room. And it's always not, sure, some books I know exactly where to look, but if you ask me, it's kind of like a random book, I would have to do some digging. But now, everything, the only thing that I need to do is I need to ask my wife for the label maker to make the label to put on the tabs, because I bought all the divider for all the alphabetical order thing, and right now it's not labeled, not yet. So I need to ask my wife have a label maker somewhere around the house. So there you go. So that's my Bernie Wrightson signature. Let me pull out some more eye candy since now everything is within reach and I know exactly where they are. Just when I thought I know where everything is, I can't find anything. Oh, what a joke. Because the thing is, I have not organized my slab yet. I organized a lot of stuff, but the only thing left for me to organize, which I haven't, is slabs. Like I said, I have maybe 100 to 120 slabs scattered all over a bunch of little boxes. Here's one of my earlier XMen that I have in a slab. XMen 5, 7.5. Now this book I bought back in the early 90s. I bought this in a convention downtown Boston. I believe 1990, because I graduated from college in 1989 and then moved to Boston. And those that live in Boston, like Sarge TD, he and I have talked about this and discussed about this. Back in the early 90s, at the Park Plaza downtown Boston, 3 or 4 times a year, there's a small convention. And this is where I bought that book, this book. So I bought it, and it's a 7.5. I slab it. So there you go. This is one of the earlier XMen that I have in the house. My XMen 1 is not in the house. It's at the bank. Dr. Von Schiller have 1,800 books left, and he still can't find anything. If you ask me any raw books that I consider keepers for now, about 2,000 I can find it pretty easy in my 3 cabinet that I modify. But as far as the stuff that are not considered keepers, woo. Paco Rizzo asks, will FF ever be popular again? I don't know. You know, I don't know. Even if the movies, even if Marvel somehow got the right back from Fox to do the movie, I'm not sure how that translates into comic book sales, to be honest, because as popular as the movies are, it's not as if Marvel top selling title is Guardian of the Galaxy, right? I mean, sure, I'm sure the comic do okay, but it's not like the most popular title. I don't know. These days, if you take out all the variant induced sales, hello, George. It's hard to fathom most title even have 50,000 readers. Seem like that's would be a good number, 50,000. I mean, the hobby has changed so much. I mean, it's hard for me to even quantify like what is considered, a good sales, right? Because there's a lot of independent title that can sustain and live and produce enough to pay the creators, even with like 20,000 print run. If books, when a cover is $3 or $4 a pop, you don't need to sell 300,000 books to have sustainability, right? So, hello, Jeff. Hello, Comics Unlimited. Lots of people. But yeah, now on the news front, it's good to hear that Wonder Woman is getting a lot of positive early buzz. So I'm very pleased. I am extremely pleased that Wonder Woman early showing. I guess I guess the embargo on full review is all the way until next week. But if you stay on top of Wonder Woman, hello Scott, rare showing. Where was I? About Wonder Woman. Yeah. If you stay on top of Wonder Woman news, I'm sure you have heard a lot of positive review, non-spoiler review of the movie. So I am super excited to go see the movie. I guess in roughly 10 days. Who's on top of Wonder Woman? It would be interesting to see. Oh, speaking of a big auction, I was looking at the auction. Oh, how can we forget this? Comic Link auction has kicked off. Let's take a look, folks. Let's take a look. I was looking at the Comic Link auction browsing. I was browsing before I start the chat. Let's look at the high bidding item. Amazing Fantasy 15 8.0. 221K with 6 days to go. Holy hotness. There you go. There you go. Look at that. How about the Hulk 9.0? 182K. Oh, look. A Fantastic Four one from the John Fantuccio pedigree. Look at that. Oh, that book's going to crack 6 figures, I think. Look at that CVA. It's still around. Look at that. Hook 1, 6.5. 30K. Wowza. I just did my indeed, Robert Finofrock. Lots of time left. The price on many of these high items is gonna go much higher. Okay, much higher. Much higher. Look at that Wonder Woman #1. Almost 16K already. Good God. Good God. No, I did not, JLS. Castlevania trailer. Oh, I need to go check it out after this chat. I can't say that I have seen Castlevania trailer. Look at that. All-Star 8, 2.0, 15.6K. It's one of my favorite. Detective 35, 3.5, 15K. Goodness. A lot of good stuff. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Silver Surfer 1 from the John Fantuccio pedigree. 13.25K. Goodness gracious. Hulk 1. Hulk 181. 12.75. Goodness. Big money. Big money. Oh my God, look at this. House of Secret 92. 9.6. 10K. Look at this thing. My goodness. Look at that. Look at that. Wowza. Razor sharp. Wowza. Look at that. Perfect centering. Where's the back cover? Damn. Comic Link, come on. Goodness sake. Goodness gracious. Fantuccio? I don't think so. Because this is a CGC and not CBCS. So no, that's it. See, that's a different Silver Surfer one that Steve Barak posted. I'm guessing since it's Steve Barak, it would be a CBCS. Oh, this one for you, Dr. Vanchilla. A Gil Kane cover. My goodness. Look at that. Oh, good Lord, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Thor 201. Man, look at that. Sweetness. Freak of nature. Yes, indeed, Jose. Freak of nature. Merc doesn't care for the big books. And Tuccio, I don't know, Yickety Yakety. I don't know, to be honest. I do not know. Look at this X-Men 9.0. Yeah. I'm sure it will quadruple in price by the end. Maybe at least triple. Can you imagine this book go for under 28K? Look at that. The only knock on this book is the cover is kind of yellow. That's my only complaint. Other than that, razor sharp 9.0 X-Men. Beautifully center, okay? Beautifully center. How much for that cover, Lord Tatman? I don't know. Right now, the top bid is almost 10K. Almost 10K. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's faded. Robert Finofrock. I just think it's yellow. But who knows? Like I said, when it's yellow like that. But the thing is, for those that are familiar with X-Men 1, or the one with the dark green, okay, X-Men 1 have two versions, okay? One where the green is light and one where the green is darker. So you can't really judge the light green is faded, okay? It's not. There are many copy of the lighter green. So I can't say, I'm not saying it's not or it is. I'm just saying that if you think it's faded because the green is not sharp dark green, it's not. Yes, Dr. Van Schiller. I have owned both versions. Okay, I have owned the one that's dark green and the one that's lime green. I like them both. What's more important for me? The white. I'm just happy that my X-Men 1 book has a white cover. Carl on Bass asked, what's the grade of my X-Men 1? I think it's around 5.0, 5.5-ish. It's in one of the video. It's oh my goodness, look at this one. Werewolf by Night 32. White page, perfectly center. Moon Knight. Indeed, Stephen. I agree. When it comes down to X-Men 1 and Daredevil 1, even Fantastic Four 1, okay? All those Silver Age Marvel keys, they're all plagued with yellow cover. Just by the nature that they are just plain old white. Marvel was too cheap back in those early days to have fanciful colors on their covers. They go with the boring white to save some money for the young startup. JLS gave us a little history on John Fentuccio. He was one of the most prominent artists during the early days of comic fandom. He created hundreds of covers and illustrations for fanzine, such as Rocket's Blast and Guide for Comic Fandom. I need to pull mine out. I think now that you mention it, JLS, I think I have a Rocket's Blast that has Fentuccio drawing on the front cover. I need to dig that out. I think I have one of his fanzine with his work on it. Now that you brought it up, I remember seeing the signature and it looked pretty cool. So thank you, JLS, for enlightening us with the history lesson. Merc with a mouth said that he loved Bronze Age books that are perfectly centered. Yes, join the group. Join the group. Indeed, Dr. Van Schiller, the most awesome thing about Werewolf by Night 32 is a Gil Kane cover. And the least exciting thing about that book is the Don Perlin art inside. Sorry, but my God, the interior of that book left a lot to be desired. Yes, Scott, it's just one of those books that nobody cares to take care of. It's not a hard book to find in very fine to near mint, but not easy to find in the 9.6, 9.8 range. That's for sure. That's just because I think for a long time it is such a non-important books. For sure, it's just one of those heavily speculated books, and who knows what will happen if they figured out a way to squeeze Moon Knight in a TV show, right? can't imagine Moon Knight being on a big screen. Beyond the Blast Door. Hello. Thank you for joining me for the first time. Personally, I would not want to recommend anyone to invest in Werewolf by Night, okay? Because I just can't see the character blowing up on Netflix or anywhere else. If you want to own the books because you like Moon Knight, do so. If you're buying the books because you think it's gonna make a lot of money, I wouldn't recommend it, okay? I would not recommend anyone to go out there but I'm not going to stop anybody from go out there and trying to speculate on any books. So it's not for me, but it's a free country. You guys can go ahead and do your thing. Lord of the Long Box is in. Hello, Timmy. How you doing, my man? Yes, JLS. There have been, and I just don't see it. Okay, if I had to pick a definite answer, like whether do I think Moon Knight have a place on TV like Netflix or not, I just don't see it. Okay, there's no need. Doesn't mean that it can't happen. I think Netflix have a handful. How about Talia? Scott asked. Talia, she's on the TV show, right? I mean, I own a copy of Talia's first appearances. I think it's like in the 8.5 range, and I'm pretty content with that copy. Once again, when it comes down to Bronze Age books, it's hard for me to recommend anything but mid-grade or near mid or below Hulk 181, because Hulk 181 is red hot. It's always going to be hot. It's been hot for 30 years or longer. I just, I don't see many other fringe character to be hot 20 or 30 years from now. I just don't see it. I think Wolverine will stay cool for many, many years to come. Parker Rizzo say, get Iron Fist right first before Moon Knight. I am mildly interested to see how the Defender TV show is going to be. I think they are finishing up, right? They should be finished shooting the Defenders. I agree with Dr. Von Schiller. Talia, Moon Knight, B- or even C. I go with C. Okay. Well, everybody had their different opinion on what B or C is. We can agree what A is, okay? A is the Batman, the Spider-Man. A, for me, A-listers are those that are iconic. Even if you don't have to be iconic, you have to be able to carry your own titles for decades, like Thor. Thor is not Superman. He's not Batman. He's not a lot of things, but he can carry his own book. Okay, so I put Thor up there in the A list. I put Captain America up there in the A list. But when it comes down to like characters that can't carry their own title, nobody's gonna ever care about Talia. She barely made any kind of appearances anyway, right? Let's see. Let me switch back. Enough of that Werewolf by Night. Bring me back. Bring him back. Bye. Robert Finnefrock. I think Moon Knight has a cult following. That's what people say. I would agree with that. I mean, even back when I collected Moon Knight, okay, I collected Moon Knight back in the 80s, and it was a very niche kind of characters. Um, and he's never really going big. Moon Knight is just one of those characters that really can't really fit into any team. It's not like you can squeeze Moon Knight into like the Defenders. He's just not. He doesn't play well with others. Let's see what else. Something escaped my mind as far as TV show. Uh, Getting old. Things are just like slipping. Dr. Von Schiller said Moon Knight has a hardcore audience dating all the way back to the early 80s. Did you see those IDW Artist Edition? Which one, my friend? Which one? For which? I have a couple of those IDW books, like the Kirby one, the Walt Simonson one. I have the Romita Spider-Man, which I also have. No doubt, Scott. Moon Knight, that was my introduction to Moon Knight. I was a huge Bill Sienkiewicz. I can never get his last name right. Sienkiewicz. I was a huge fan of Bill Sienkiewicz. So I did go back and buy a lot of his books in the Moon Knight run. In fact, that was one of the earlier back issues that I collected. I first collected when I first saw Bill Sienkiewicz work on New Mutant 18 when he first took over, and I was blown away. Okay, I was like, wow, who is this guy? Who is this incredible artist? So I went back to the store right away and dig into those long box and saw a lot of Moon Knight stuff. So I bought a lot of his Moon Knight stuff for pretty cheap, even back in the 80s. And a lot of it was for the covers. The covers on many of the Moon Knight up until issue 32 was fantastic. Not all of them. Not all of them were awesome. But there were quite a few that are just like stunningly beautiful. Dr. Von Schiller still love his Gil Kane. Nothing wrong with that. Wait until you see the Heritage original art recap that I will load tomorrow. I just shot it this morning, and I will load it tomorrow. There are some eye candy. I think there's a Gil Kane eye candy piece in the auction. And it's that original art auction that took place last week was breathtaking. There are, if you didn't follow it, wait until you see the recap. There is an item there that went for insane money. Insane. By insane, I mean 700 plus K insane. Okay. Wait until you see it. It's such a cool piece of art. Would I pay 700 plus K for that? No. But man, is it cool. It is sweet looking. But it's amazing. I mean, when I saw the price, I'm just like, wow, I had no idea that this piece would fetch that amount. It is a great piece. Make no mistake, it's a great piece, but wow. Oh, the IDW Kane Artist Edition. I do not have that. Like I said, I don't buy every single IDW Artist Edition, so I can't. So I do not have the Gil Kane book. Correct, Stephen Wilkinson. There is an XMen 1, a nice one, like with a, I would say 6'5" ish